big games down the stretch, but every game's big at this time of the year. How do you guys kind of face and embrace the challenge tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it, we have to embrace it. We know the position we're in. We know the type of hockey we're capable of playing, and down the stretch, we have to make sure that we're playing that game. From the drop of the puck, we can't feel our way into games, and we can't let down in the second period. We have to make sure that we're playing that consistent style of hockey that has given us success.
When you're scouting the Blues, what kind of things stand out in terms of their game and the way they've been playing these last 9?
Like you said, they're playing good hockey right now. They're feeling good about themselves, and I think they're a team that generates a lot off their forechecks. So, we saw it in our practice playing yesterday, making sure that we're all on the same page. On the forecheck as a group of 5, but breaking the puck out. We worked on that, making sure that we're a group of 5, and it's not just on the D to break the puck out. It's not just on the forwards to sustain ozone time and get in on that on the forecheck in the other end. So I think it's just a matter of making sure that we're connected as a group of 5 all over the ice.
Defensively, I'd have to imagine you guys were pretty pleased with the performance against Boston a couple nights ago. How do you carry that over?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all the messages are kind of connected. I think when we're coming back as a group of 5, when we're up in the play as a group of 5, it gives everybody the ability to stay up. Our forwards are hunting, tracking pucks down. It keeps gives us the opportunity to hold a tighter gap when you read it's a 3-on-3 rush rather than an odd man rush. So just making sure that we're doing that again tonight.
And then last one for me, obviously you had a lot of time with that injury and now you're getting back into it. How do you feel? How's it been getting back into the game speed, especially now jumping in right down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean it's something that watching games, you got to make sure that you're paying attention. You're going to all the meetings, but there's things that are discussed in the pre-scouts and things like that you have to get up to speed, and then just the pace of play, making sure that you're keeping it simple, because everything matters right now, and being out there at this time of the year, there's not many practices, so you're not able to kind of get up to speed in practice. So it was, for me, stepping back in was just making sure that I'm playing a simple game and strong and reliable defensively.
When you say everything matters, obviously it is a finer focus with just 9 games left, but how do you balance not putting too much pressure on yourselves, but also using that to kind of create an intensity and a bit of a desperation and play that way all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, we have to play, desperate hockey. You don't want to put too much pressure on yourself. Making too much that's going to make you do something that you're not normally prone to. But playing these games down the stretch, playing playoff hockey, it's a small margin that decides games. So just being mentally focused going into the games, making sure that we're collectively playing as a group of 5 all over the ice. And I think when we've shown that we can beat any team, we can compete against any team, and that's just got to be our main focus here down these last few games.
Todd, you talked about how this group has faced a lot of challenges this season and then another challenge tonight. What's kind of the mindset and how are you guys embracing tonight's test?
Well, I think the challenge for us now is from today to the end. It's almost moving week. I've heard that used in sport in the past, where the schedule's getting tighter and teams are either going to climb or fall out, and we want to make sure we're moving in the right direction. The only way of doing that is accepting the challenge that's in front of us, and that's the St. Louis Blues. Obviously, they're playing maybe the best hockey of anybody in the league right now. We're coming into their barn, so there's no greater challenge than that, but we better be up for it. We better give ourselves an opportunity to have success, player 1 through player 20, and that's basically the expectation.
And the importance of a good start, too, especially on the road and getting the crowd and taking them out of it as well.
Well, that's important anywhere. Even at home, we want to make sure that we get our crowd into it by having a good start. So, it's that, again, I keep saying it's that time of year where the intensity's there right from minute 1. We saw it the other night against Boston. So let's answer the bell. Let's be ready to go, and we'll see what happens from there.
As a coach, does that almost make it a little more streamlined when you can say, here's the focus, one game at a time is easier to compartmentalize when it's only 9 left rather than when it's 82 or 46?
Well, we've taken that approach since arriving in December. We had to put some pieces together, and we didn't want players thinking big picture. We wanted them to focus on the task at hand, and thinking about this time of the year. So if they've been able to develop those skills and focus on just what's in front of them, it makes it a lot easier. And certainly as the schedule gets tighter, they're more aware of the ramifications of wins and losses. But we don't want them thinking beyond the actual task in front of them.
What's one of the keys against this St. Louis team tonight that you want to see from your guys?
Well, in the pre-scout, we've seen teams play real well against them in one zone, but not all 3 zones. And they're a 3-zone team. They play real well defensively. Their neutral zone play is really good, and obviously they can score goals. And in all the games that we've watched, teams have been quite strong against them, but only in one zone. We're going to have to play a 3-zone game, and if we can, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Certainly the defensive intensity and just kind of the fight and spirit of your team was there against Boston. Can there be some carryover, and can you use it?
Well, there was some intensity. We played much better defensively. There's some energy in our team and the building itself. But I think that we have to come out and reestablish that. We can't count on it traveling on the plane. And we have to be prepared to go, as we talked about earlier. It's real important that we're not looking for players halfway through the night. We found everybody earlier and they're contributing.
And then one quick one from you. Since some of you have seen an up-close personal view of Lucas Raymond and just his growth in the last couple months, where has he maybe shown that to you the most?
Well, I think Razor's had an up and down period since we've been here. He was tremendous to begin with, coming out of the Four Nations, got a little harder. But when you're one of the top players on any team in the league, you're a focal point. You see the other team's top pairing. You see the other team's checking line. They know your tendencies as a player on the power play. So it just gets harder and harder the better you get as a player. And I think Razor's grown in that. He's learning to fight through and push in that. And we're counting on him in these last 9 games.